Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello, my name is Adam Sandler, and welcome to So Sandlerous, the Sandman movie podcast. A gabagoo.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of So Sandlerous, the Sandman movie podcast, a podcast where I, Kerry John Jones, and my dearest friend and co-host, Matt Wolstenholme, rewatch and discuss the movies of famed method actor Adam Sandler. So, Matt, why are we here? Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? That is a great question. I'm sure it's a question on everybody's minds out there. It's one I can't answer, you know? You asked me if we wanted to record a podcast about Adam Sandler movies, and I just couldn't say no.
I think podcasting is something we've discussed before, especially over the last couple of years.
We've been discussing for a while. It's something that, I mean, it kind of brought us together in a way as well.
Yeah, because 2018 when we went on that road trip, we both discovered that we loved the Weekly Planet, and then from the Weekly Planet, that offshot to other podcasts. And I think it's only fair to say that the offshoots from Weekly Planet, such as Do Go On, and then Primates, and then Mic Check with Cam and Alexi, is something that's definitely inspired this here.
I think that's directly inspired this. It's been we even got the man's permission himself.
Yeah, we did message Matt Stewart from Primates Pod and Phrase in the Bar, asking if we could directly rip him off, and he said, "Yeah, that's fine." And he did exactly the same to Mic Check. So I think we got everybody's permission that we needed. So yeah. A movie podcast where we're going to discuss the movies of Adam Sandler. 68 weeks in a row.
Hopefully he brings out one more. Let's go.
Oh my god. This is the dumbest idea ever.
So we're doing this in a way that we thought we'd go chronologically, but we just thought we'd decide to start with Billy Madison, as it made sense. The first big role. Not his first leading role, but first big movie that everyone, I guess, would know.
Yeah. Billy Madison was definitely the easiest choice to start with, because if we started with either Going Overboard or Shakes the Clown, I think I would have given up. I've watched both those movies and they're dreadful. As the one of the two of us that's seen those movies, I don't have high hopes when I have to watch them over these next few weeks. Oh, honestly. There's something else, but before
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But before we get into the movie of today, Matt, have you been watching anything else over the last couple of weeks, or no?
I've been rewatching, very off topic, but the fully extended versions of the Lord of the Rings so far. So that's a big commitment to sit there for a 4-hour movie, but. I swear, you watch Lord of the Rings for 4 hours, it doesn't feel like it's been 4 hours. It's just incredible. So, I've been through Fellowship and Two Towers, and I've got to watch Return of the King for however 3 days that movie takes at the end of this week.
Have you seen the trailer for the new show?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm kind of keen to see it. It's like what, $1 billion TV show, so that's going to be a sight between itself.
I think it's like 100 million per episode or something crazy.
Absolutely outrageous.
Like but they've uprooted from New Zealand now. They're moving to down the road from me, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it wasn't in New Zealand, but I had no idea it was next door in Wales.
half hour away from where I am right now. Well,
incredible.
That's what I heard.
Nice.
Have you been watching anything else?
Currently, no. I mean, as we both know, I'm currently in the middle of Australia with no Wi-Fi, so I'm a bit limited right now as to what's on my hard drive. But we do what we can.
No, that's fair enough.
And what about yourself? What have you been up to? What have you been watching these last couple of weeks?
I've just finished Peacemaker, the new James Gunn, John Cena.
I've heard good things.
TV show, and It's fantastic.
Unreal.
It's absolutely incredible. It's probably the best superhero TV show out there. Better
Ooh,
than
that's a big call.
better than anything that Marvel have put
Better than The Boys?
I've only seen the first season of The Boys.
Oh,
But
great show.
Peacemaker is it's fantastic. It's funny. It makes you cry. It's honestly
exactly what you need it to be.
yeah.
Oh.
It's the best TV show of 2022 so far, I'd say. And I've been to the cinema twice to see Jackass Forever, and I think
I'm yet to watch that.
I think that movie is something that's just such a celebration of what friendship and growing old and just boys coming together to be boys. I cried the first time I saw it, honestly. I cried at the very end with the tributes to everything that's happened in the past and just watching the old clips, and yeah, it was just something that you don't get to experience so often with a cinema full of people, all just these big belly laughs. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had.
I guess, yeah, with Jackass, I guess it's something we've both grown up with over the last,
Yeah.
20 odd years, and I think it hit us right at the perfect time.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just incredible.
I remember watching Jackass 3D 10 years ago, and then that movie ended with Weezer Memories, and like all the Jackass crew were singing that song, and then all the clips and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the perfect ending. These guys are too old to do any of this shit anymore. Just let it go. But the fact that they've come back 10 years later to do exactly the same, but also to pass the torch on to a new crew, which the new crew are fantastic as well.
I've only heard good things about New Crew. From everybody that's seen it has said that they do a really good job of like filling in and getting involved.
They're fantastic. This guy Poopies and another guy called Zach Holmes, like they are absolutely incredible. There's a new guy in it called Eric Manica, and he's English, but he doesn't really appear in the film at all, even though he's billed as a new cast member. So I'm wondering if there's a lot of stuff with him to come for like Jackass.
Oh, like a 4.5.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
The 4.5, the 0.5 movies are my favorite.
They're incredible.
So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
But before this turns into a solely a Jackass podcast, which I'm sure we could sit here and talk about it all day long, we both came to do one thing, and that was talk about Billy Madison.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is another movie in and of itself. In a way, it's similar to Jackass, as it is a movie that is essentially just a series of skits. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Completely agree. There's no real through line. It's just scene after scene after scene. Some funny bits here and there, but
it's just bonkers. Like, it just makes no fucking sense in this movie. I just don't understand it. I remember watching it as a kid and being like, this is amazing. And I've watched it, I think, 3 or 4 times as an adult now. And it's just gotten weirder each time.
It used to be my favourite film as a kid. I used to be
absolutely incredible.
Obsessed with Adam Sandler. When I was like 8 to 13, I used to be obsessed with Adam Sandler, and I used to make a thing of going to see every Adam Sandler movie in the cinema with my dad and like collecting the DVDs. I was so obsessed with Adam Sandler, I used to have his songs on my phone when I was in like year 7. Everybody else was listening to like Akon Beautiful and shit, and I was listening to fucking Adam Sandler.
And here we are in 2022 making a fucking podcast. It all comes full fucking circle, baby.
It does. No, but like in year 7, I used to listen to Adam Sandler and Weird Al, and I used to try and write my own parody songs. And I remember this one time I was it much like this. I was camera out, microphone on, and I was recording a parody to Bad Day, but whatever, you know that song, because you had a bad day. That song. I was recording a parody to that about my best friend who just got into a relationship, and I had my headphones on, and I remember I was recording in my room, and my dad came up behind me, opened the door. I had no idea who he was there, and he was just recording me on his phone singing this song, and it was just the dirtiest thing ever for like a year 7 to be singing. And he was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
If we can find that video, I'm sure we'll put it in the show notes because
I remember the lyrics as well.
oh, please, we have give us a rendition.
Cause you had a bad day, she pulled your pants down, she sucked your knob and she slapped it around. She said you don't know, she said you don't care, she ripped off all your pubic hair. You had a bad day.
Fucking hell.
I just used to find the karaoke versions online and just record over that.
We did say we might get cancelled after the first episode.
Yeah.
We're definitely going down that route.
that was me when I was 11. I'm a changed guy.
Yeah. I'll say nothing.
Right. Let's. Go on. You go.
No, I was just gonna say this movie starts with Adam Sandler, Norm Macdonald, R.I.P.
Yeah.
And another guy who I can't remember the name of. He isn't really in anything else. Just getting shit faced in a pool. Adam Sandler.
But before we get into the plot, shall we run over what the movie is first?
Good point.
I've got a couple of reviews here and everything, so I'll just ask you
I've got
a couple of questions.
I found some unbelievably good reviews for this movie.
Right. Okay.
We might have the same ones, but
yeah,
fucking
probably.
hell, I was crazing.
Right. So on to today's movie, Billy Madison. We'll insert the trailer here.
Suntan lotion is good for me.
He was born into privilege
Oh, really, fool? Really?
and stood to inherit a fortune. But for 27-year-old Billy Madison, there's just one problem.
How could I hand over my company to someone who couldn't even get through school?
That's nice.
Billy is not an idiot.
Give me one more chance. I'll prove I can take over. First grade through 12th grade, all over again. And then I get to take over Madison Hotels.
You're on.
I want you all to meet Billy.
You want some more of that? I didn't think so.
Don't you think it's a little pathetic that just because of who your father is, you get to come to school all over again?
Yes, I do.
I heard he's retarded or something.
Good morning, class. So let's all open up our Reading Is Fun books to page 69.
69.
Where's Billy? He's in school, man.
So what's it like being back in school?
I don't know. I kind of feel like an idiot sometimes. Although I am an idiot, so it kind of works out.
Universal Pictures presents
Norman Invasion of England.
1066.
That is correct.
Adam Sandler,
I am the smartest man alive.
Spanish Armada.
1466. 67.
Billy Madison,
1469. 1514. 1981.
God, give me the answer.
To with it. Billy Madison, directed by Tamra Davis, starring Adam Sandler, Bradley Whitford, Bridget Wilson, Norm Macdonald, Darren McGavin, Mark Beltzman, and Larry Hankin. The film was written by Sandler and Tim Herlihy and produced by Robert Simmons. So, Matt, here I have a plot synopsis from the TCM database, which is Turner Classic Media. And I think they're just a big company, big movie company who work for, who's like a, they do a lot of stuff with Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network, I think. So
Yeah.
Tell me if this plot synopsis describes the movie in the perfect way. So, he's the heir to Madison Hotel millions, but the only subject Billy has studied lately are babes and boobs. When Brian Madison informs his goofball son that he plans to turn over his Fortune 500 company to a scheming vice president, Billy makes the best of his life. He's going back to school, grades 1 through 12, in 24 weeks! Can this bona fide blockhead win his father's respect, the family fortune, and the love of his beautiful teacher?
I mean, fuck. That's
That's the movie, isn't it?
that is pretty much the movie. There's a few in and outs there, but Fuck, that's the most sense you'll ever hear today for the rest of this movie. That is...
That's the main through line of everything that's going on. But as we've said, it's batshit. It's such a crazy film. It makes no sense. There's nothing to it. But
you can tell in a way that he's definitely like just out of Saturday Night Live, because we were saying before, it just is like skits. Like there's no like follow through for the movie. The plot is just whenever it fucking decides it wants to be there. But it's just him living his best life in fucking primary school, basically.
Yeah, he's loving it. But he hasn't done anything different since, really. All his Happy Madison movies are just him
just doing mad shit. This movie makes no fucking sense, and that's probably one of the best bits about it, because if you try and make sense of this movie, you drive yourself fucking crazy.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, moving on. We got a couple of reviews here. I've got a review from back in the day, and I've got a couple of letterboxed reviews from fans. I don't know why I'm doing air quotes. This is the podcast. From fans of the movie. So this is from Ian Nathan from 1996, Empire Magazine. He gave this movie 1 star. And he says, forget the likes of Jim Carrey, Chris Farley, and Pauly Shore. For the bottom line in dumb comedies, you have to look at the interminable mugging and dopey grin of Adam Sandler. Despite the relatively appealing spin in Airheads, Sandler proves that whatever Carrey has, he keeps to himself, because Billy Madison is the least funny, least likable of all Saturday Night Live offshoots that have struggled to latch onto Carrey's dumb comedy phenomenon. Avoid, for the love of God, avoid.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, that's unfair.
But it's some things in there are definitely justified.
I mean, Carrey was...
It's definitely worth a watch, just to see how fucking crazy it is.
But it's saying that Carrey's this fantastic actor, but Ace Ventura 2 is dog shit. Hey.
Oh, you're not wrong. I can't argue with that. He poops himself out of a rhino, so...
Yeah. I think that's an extremely unfair review for...
It is unfair. It takes it a bit to the extreme, but to be fair, I can... There's a few that are like that as well. There's a lot of people angry with this movie online.
Yeah. Do you have any reviews?
Yeah, I've got one from here. It's an IMDb review. It's from 2010. It's from Alana. It's a bunch of gibberish, so that'll do. This movie is so bad that everyone connected with it should be criminally prosecuted, or simply shot. That's an extreme. After they have been drawn and quartered, tarred and feathered. I used to think that Nothing But Trouble was the worst movie ever made, but compared to this stinker, that is a masterpiece. Mind you, I don't dislike lowbrow humour per se. I loved Kingpin and liked Dumb and Dumber. But there isn't an iota of humour or creativity in this abomination. Maybe it was intended as a movie for kids. If that is the case, there may be some justification for it. I'm sure most 5 to 10-year-olds would find it amusing. Billy Madison should have a reverse MPAA rating. No one over the age of 10 or with an IQ over 80 should be allowed to watch. The only reason I gave it 1 star is that no stars was not an option. that was scathing.
Yeah. It's not a movie made for kids, though.
It's not a movie made for anyone. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this film. Like, I don't know what the target audience was.
There's too much drinking, too much sex, and too much
outrageous
swearing.
Jokes. Yeah, like, there's some outrageous things going on in this movie.
I'm fairly sure Adam Sandler says fuck when he's in kindergarten. Or does he say shit or something?
There's definitely curses in there. He's definitely not appropriate for the 3-year-olds he's around.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
With his hippie teacher.
So, have you got any more reviews there? Because I've got a couple from Letterboxd that I want to run through.
Oh, please, take the lead there. I'm ready.
So, from Letterboxd, I've got a couple of 5-star reviews and a couple of 1-star reviews. I've got 4. So, this 5-star review is from Mr. Pike325, and he reviewed this on New Year's Eve last year. And the 5-star review says, good.
Nice. You know what? Can't argue with it.
No, I know. And then I got another 5-star review here from Benjamin Dotson, and he simply said, true cinema.
True cinema.
And then I've also noticed that his profile picture is Joaquin Phoenix Joker, so I think he knows what he's talking about when it comes to when it comes to movies.
That is a man with some authority on some films there.
And then a couple of on the other side of the spectrum, we got half a star from Luke, and he says, 20 minutes in, a teacher's reading a picture book to kids without having the book turned towards them, and that really hurt. And then 1 star from Identity_Crisis.
What is this, Cinema Sins? What?
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. 1 star from Identity_Crisis. People think that this movie is funny, but I can't focus on the plot because his stupid ugly face makes me feel like I have swine flu.
That feels more like a sly at Adam Sandler than the movie itself.
Yeah, I know. I want to know if Identity_Crisis has gone through every single Adam Sandler movie just to say he has an ugly face.
Is he the one having the identity crisis because he isn't as good looking as Adam Sandler, or is this what is going on here?
Maybe. But I think those, apart from the picture book one, I think those are unfair. Because
I'd say so. Like,
I hated the picture book thing. It really annoyed me.
That's a very valid argument. To be fair.
I hated that teacher.
But fuck me. It's just that whole like, she's just the biggest hippie, and just I do like the fact that she just refuses to have him inside the classroom for recess. Like, no.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I'm done dealing with kids for right now. This is my time. We've all been there.
Yeah, when I was doing my teacher placement and kids would come in during break time, I would be like, oh, no, go on, get outside.
Yeah.
It's the only time in the day you have to yourself. But
if there's any kids listening, there's a reason your teachers like spending all their time in the staff room.
Yeah. Honestly.
I hope there's no kids listening. Fucking hell.
Right. With those reviews, Matt, what do you think the splitometer on Rotten Tomatoes is? Rotten Tomatoes? What do we say? Tomatoes?
Tomato? It's what? It's rotten or it's fresh?
Yeah,
that's what they go for?
So I've got the critics percentage here and the audience percentage. So what do you think the critics have given it out of 100?
Out of 100? Oh,
yeah,
God.
Well, it's percentage.
I feel like the critics one's going to be lower than the audience one. I feel like I could probably guess that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'll be sad. Critics, I'd be surprised if it's over 50.
What do you think, Matt?
Under 50? Can I go under 50?
Yeah. You can go under 50. Do you want to zone in on that?
Do you want me to get a specific guess?
Go on, give a specific guess. See what you can get.
39.
40%.
Oh, fuck off.
I promise you, 40%.
Oh.
And what about audiences? What do you think there?
Oh, the audience, it can't be much better, eh? Like, 55, 60?
79%.
79%.
79% of audience give this film
okay. I mean,
positive review.
That is. I can't agree with that. I think I'm definitely somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
79% is a lot for this movie.
I don't know if I'd give it a positive review. I probably would. It's too shit not to, you know?
I think depending on how old I was, we'd get a different answer out of me.
Yeah, that's true.
I did watch this on ×2 speed the other day, and it was bearable.
Yeah. Watching in ×2 was, 45 minutes? It was like...
Yeah, absolutely flew through it.
Two episodes of a show.
It was unbelievable.
Right, and then one last thing before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of the movie. This is Adam Sandler's first starring role.
Yeah.
How do you think this did at the box office?
Oh, Jesus.
I'll say that it had a budget of $10 million.
A budget of $10 million.
Which seems a lot.
That does seem like a lot for this movie, considering there's it's based in 3 different sets.
Yeah.
It's based at a house, a school, and a back garden, basically. And a fucking field trip one time. Oh, God. Did it... I'm going to say it made its money back, but I can't say this movie must have done that well. Maybe like 60 million back at the box office?
Box office of 26.4 million.
Oh, well, I was fucking way out there.
So it made 16 million back, but with the cost of like advertising and everything, it couldn't have been that successful. But then again, it was successful enough to give Adam Sandler this career that he's still got today.
It's very true. Somebody must have liked this movie along the way that was...
I've actually got a fact about this being a very, very prominent actor's favorite film of all time. But
we'll get to there. We'll get to some trivia at the end.
But yeah, this movie must have done well on VHS and rental.
Oh, I think you're probably getting like a huge stoner crowd for this movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just like 90s VHS, just people getting baked, getting some Pizza Hut and watching this movie with their friends, definitely.
Down to Blockbuster, yeah.
Blockbuster, especially in the... 100%. Especially in the 90s as well. I think people probably would have seen some movies from Adam Sandler maybe 2 years, 3 years after this and gone back and looked at some more, and it's probably done pretty well. Not knowing what they're getting into.
Oh shit, when did this film come out? 95?
95.
Yeah.
And he's not very far away from some great success after this.
No, because Happy Gilmore's just
Happy
down
Gilmore's
the road. 3 years away?
Yeah, Big Daddy's also in the 90s.
I think Big Daddy's 99.
Yeah. So even that's 4 years. Like, that's a quick turnaround to be like, that's a pretty big fucking movie.
I think with the Saturday Night Live alumni, is he the most successful? I mean, technically, Robert Downey Jr. is the most successful.
True.
But keeping in vein with the spirit of Saturday Night Live, it has to be Sandler, surely.
Yeah. I'd say, like, in terms of, like, the volume of the stuff he's put out and, like, how famous they all are. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. is a different kind of case nowadays, but...
Yeah.
After that, yeah, maybe Eddie Murphy was Saturday Night Live, and
Eddie Murphy was, I think Jim Carrey was,
Jim
Ferrell
Carrey,
was,
yeah.
But with Murphy and Carrey, they kind of just stopped, didn't they?
Yeah, like Eddie Murphy just kind of didn't want to do acting anymore after, like, obviously he's in Shrek, but that's obviously it's a voice role,
and Coming to America. Did you see that?
Yeah, so he's obviously had a resurgence in the later years with some good stuff. Apparently, it was one of his movies. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head just now, but it came out I think maybe last year or 2 years ago, and it was apparently pretty good. The Netflix movie. Oh fuck! All right, I don't know why I brought that up. I don't know the name of it, but apparently it's pretty good. It's back to his good old days. Freddie Murphy there.
Oh, fantastic!
But Will Ferrell as well. Actually, like I'd say Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
In like the mid 2000s to the early 10s was undefeatable in some movies. They were fucking incredible.
Yeah, he kind of died off with Get Hard and.
You had that Sherlock fucking Holmes movie with John C. Reilly as well.
He's got a Christmas Carol musical coming up this year with Ryan Reynolds, and I think Will Ferrell is Scrooge.
Oh God, I'm tentative to say that can't be any good. Surely.
I mean, they're both good singers.
He's the songbird of his generation.
Yeah.
We can't argue with that.
Right, okay, let's stop talking about A Christmas Carol and just move on to the movie. So
yeah, this movie opens up with them getting drunk in a pool, and it very quickly, Adam Sandler's just drunk driving a golf cart, classic, going to get some nudie magazines, which I made special note of this because there's some fucking incredible magazines that he pulls out of the mailbox there. So we start off with She-Male Fiesta, over 80s, and something you definitely couldn't do anymore, which is drunk chicks. That is some mid-90s bullshittery right there.
I mean, I think you were right to completely skip over the pool scene because it's nothing.
It's nothing, it's just them.
He puts some sun cream on and he sings a little. But yeah.
Yeah, he does his little thing with his little smiley face with the sunscreen and
then his stupid voice.
Yeah, just splashing about.
It's good for me. But yeah, you were right. He just quickly jumps in a golf cart and completely ruins the garden.
Everything.
Yeah, he just
almost runs his butler over.
He ruins everything. But back to the nudie magazines. Did you note down like the subheadings and everything?
Oh no, I just got the titles. I was times 2 speed. I didn't have a chance.
so I got them here. So the first one was She-Male Fiesta, and the subtitle was I Pee Sitting Down, or Do I? Women over 80s, wrinkled skin, wrinkled sheets.
Holy Jesus.
And then the last one was drunk chicks, models over 18. And then I said, in the States, you got to be 21 to drink. So either these models are illegally drunk or they're not 18-year-olds. But but yeah, the nudie magazines is where we start the movie.
And I don't know if it goes uphill or downhill from there.
No, I know. And then he's like, on the golf cart he sings, Nudie Magazine Day, Nudie Magazine Day.
Nudie Magazine Day.
but then you see the nudie magazines, then next thing you know, the penguin's just there.
Oh, the penguin. This was something, as a kid, I loved this, but what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I thought the penguin was so much more prominent in the whole movie.
Yeah, I thought it was like an entire thing, but...
The penguin shows up 3 times?
Maybe 3.
3 times in 90 minutes is still a penguin every 30 minutes.
Oh, fuck. I mean, the most surprising thing to me is that he knows that penguins are from Antarctica. That was...
Yeah,
he gets that right, so I was pretty
I've written
impressed
this
with
down
that.
here. It's like, introductory, best recurring gag in the movie, and then Sandler goes, it's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here. I got to send him back to the South Pole. And then I Googled where penguins from, and National Geographic told me that penguins don't actually live on the South Pole.
Oh, well, I've been mugged right off there. But penguins are South Pole and polar bears are North Pole. Is that not right?
Maybe they live on Antarctica, but not actually at
the South Pole. All right, I'll give you that. That's fair enough.
But yeah, then that penguin scene is just used to move the plot along to Billy arriving at the house.
Yeah, that's all it is. And then it's just to get him back to the house. And then he goes and has the famous bath scene.
Yeah. Oh.
With the shampoo versus conditioner.
Yeah. So he arrives back at the house, and Billy's dad's mates are arriving for some sort of business meeting, aren't they? And then
he just falls over, pissed drunk, and I'm trying to chase the penguin at the front door.
And then we meet the maid.
Oh, the maid is actually... It's a great part of this movie.
She's hilarious. She's so
Some
funny.
unbelievable one-liners. Do you know, I was looking at this. She's like 75 when they filmed this.
Yeah.
She doesn't look a day over 60. Like, that is crazy.
She actually passed away 2 years after this movie.
I remember. I saw that. R.I.P. to that lady.
Her name's Teresa Merritt, but she's like actually...
She's one of the better parts of the movie, I would say.
She's like a critically acclaimed actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she won like Tony Awards and everything for being on stage and stuff. Like actual proper,
we're gonna get slated for not knowing this lady.
like
Well.
actual proper awards. I did some little research and I found out she won a Tony and she died. But yeah, she's probably one of the best recurring characters, and she's in love with Billy. She fancies the fuck out of Adam Sandler's character here.
Just the one-liners, just the offhanded comments of her trying to fuck him all movie are honestly incredible. They're so good.
And then, like we were saying earlier, it's just scene after scene after scene with no real through line. And then after he arrives at the house, Billy gets sent to the bath, and then this scene's
It's iconic in a way.
Yeah. Would you say this is the most quotable Adam Sandler scene, or it has to be top 3?
Yeah, it's definitely one. It might not be the top one, but it's definitely top 3 in the movie. For everybody would know that quote that's seen it.
I'd say top 3 all time.
Oh, just all time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big call.
What, the shampoo conditioner scene, 100% top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
It's probably that.
Yeah, but you could say that there's like 10 scenes in Happy Gilmore that you could put.
That's true.
And all the Water Boy as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, I don't know about top 3 then. But this is definitely the most quotable scene of the movie. And then
yeah. All right, I'll give you that.
It's the classic. Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth.
Yeah, and then he just has them a fight in the bath and splashes them down. But in fairness, my favorite quote. That is my favorite quote from this movie of all. Oh my god, that is the best quote in this movie. Stop looking at me, Swan! And it's just out of nowhere. For anyone that hasn't seen the movie, there's just this giant ornate gold swan on the taps, and that's all it is. It's just nothing. And he's just pissed drunk shouting at a swan.
Yeah, well, with shampoo versus conditioner, you're a big advocate for what? Not shampooing and just conditioning? What do you do? What did you used to do?
I never used to shampoo. I don't know fucking why I did this, but I just didn't shampoo for ages because your hair, after it gets so greasy, it just kind of cleans itself after that point. But you're supposed to pretty much shampoo your hair at least twice a week, just not every day.
Yeah.
When you conditioner, maybe. You can shampoo every other day, possibly, depending on your hair, obviously. But conditioner once, twice a week. You don't need to condition a lot.
Well,
or if you're Kerry Jones, you have a 4-in-1 that you use every single day.
Remember that 16-in-1 we found?
We have found some outrageous things in Walmart before.
Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, moisturizer, ball cleaner. Toilet cleaner.
It was the only jug you needed in your entire house. The only bottle you needed for the whole house.
It cleans the drains, everything at the same time. But yeah, I was...
You don't have to clean your hair if you don't have any fucking hair after it's taken it off.
I was actually curious to see what was better, conditioner or shampoo, and Men's Journal said conditioner weighs hair down and makes the follicles all fall together. So if a short haircut is worn with a little volume and or texture, you don't need it. Adam Sandler's hair in this movie is pretty fucking short.
That's a good point. It's not one of his longer hair rolls.
So he's wasting conditioner. He's throwing it down the drain. He doesn't need it.
Out of all the things to pick apart in this movie.
He is using his dad's billions on conditioner that he doesn't need. No wonder this man can't run a company. He's just throwing money away.
Oh, well, he's ruining gardens all over the place. He's crashing golf carts. He's chasing penguins. And now he's throwing conditioner away. He's got no redeeming qualities so far.
And then, the scene ends with that. Stop looking at me, Swan!
Stop looking at me, Swan!
and then it's just scene after scene, and then
he runs down with what could be out of fucking the Ministry of Silly Walks just runs into the movie, then runs into the dining table just all hunched over with his little crab walk.
So the next scene is at the meal where
the dinner table
at the dinner table where all Sandler's dad's, Billy's dad's acquaintances and co-workers are there for important business meeting, and the two main co-workers we are introduced to is Carl, who's played by Larry Hankin, and he was in
iconic.
Yeah, he was in Home Alone as. Do you know when the mother in Home Alone rings up the police department?
Oh, he's the guy eating the donut on the phone.
He's eating the donuts, and then they just pass the call back and forth. Well, that's him. And then also introduced.
If you don't know who this guy is, it's Mr. Heckles from Friends as well.
Oh, I've also noticed Old Joe from Breaking Bad, but I've never seen Breaking Bad.
You've never seen Breaking Bad?
I've never seen Breaking Bad, but he's Old Joe from Breaking Bad as well.
Okay, he's Old Joe from Breaking Bad.
We're also introduced to Bradley Whitford character Eric, and then Bradley Whitford he's from Cabin in the Woods, and he's the racist dad in Get Out.
Yeah, if Cabin in the Woods is the guy that really wants the mermen.
Yeah.
The mermen to arrive. He's the racist dad in Get Out. He's in
he's in loads.
He's in one of his big things is a TV show. I've not seen it, so I'm not sure what it is, but he was in that for a while.
He looks way better in Get Out than what he does in this movie.
Yeah.
He looks awful in this movie.
He just looks like I think he's kind of supposed to just look like a little rat weasel person.
Yeah.
Which he just is. He's just the worst person in this movie.
Eric in this movie is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's horrendous.
He's awful to Carl. He's awful to Billy. He's
awful to Brian.
Yeah, he's awful to everyone in this movie, and he's just a piece of shit.
He's just a wanker.
But then, at the meal, Billy eats his soup.
Just the most horrific slurps you've ever heard in a movie. That was painful to watch. That was awful.
And then he gets into an argument with Eric because Eric is pulling faces at him or whatever, and then then we're introduced to Sandler's classic "Shut Up."
He's just shouting gibberish at him.
He loses his shit, and then he speaks gibberish, and then he bites that old man.
Yeah, he nibbles his hand.
It's like, this guy can stay with my room, and then he just bites him.
Honestly, people might think we're making this up. If you've not seen this movie, it's this is like the first 5 minutes.
It's something else, and then
it makes no sense.
After Sandler does his classic stuff of stupid noises, gibberish, and shouting, we quick cut to him and his mates at a burger joint.
They're throwing pickles at the window.
Yeah, and then they're putting bets on pickles hitting the floor.
Which pickle's gonna fall first? Which this next scene coming up is also probably one of my favourite scenes in the whole movie. It's just an iconic prank.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. But in this scene, they ask, "Who'd you rather bone, Meg Ryan or Jack Nicholson?" So Matt, who'd you rather bone, Meg Ryan or Jack Nicholson?
I don't think I could picture Meg Ryan with a face. I couldn't tell you what she looks like.
I can't picture her either.
And it's Jack Nicholson. It's which is it like 76 Jack Nicholson or something like that? He's 1976.
Yeah.
Go on, Big Jacko. He was a good looking lad back in the day.
Jack Nicholson pre The Shining.
Pre The Shining. Pre The Air, The Widow's Peak.
Talk about Jack Nicholson. He's going to show up in a couple of weeks' time in.
Anger Management.
Anger Management. I forgot about that.
We'll get there.
But yeah, and then Billy and his mates. What's the next thing? They go and like dog shit.
They go and get the dog shit in a paper bag and set it on fire on this poor man's porch.
Old man Clemens.
Which apparently they have done countless times before, and he falls for it every single time. And you can hear one of the kids in the background shouting, "Don't put it out with your boot, Pa." And he's just got shit all over it.
Well, old man Clemens.
What's this? There's poop in this bag. He called the shit poop. It's legitimately the next line in this movie.
He called the shit poop. Oh my gosh.
Oh, what the fuck? What is going on?
And then, I've said it's just sketch after sketch. And then after the poop scene, we're back in the house, and Billy finds out that his dad wants to give the company to Eric because Billy's a man-child.
Billy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, so because Billy was acting like an absolute kid at the meal and whatnot, Billy's dad, what's his name?
Brian.
Billy finds out that Brian has said, "Nah, Billy, you're not capable of doing this. I'm just going to give the company to Eric." And Billy's pretty pissed at this, and which is rightly so, because Billy knows that Eric is a piece of shit.
Eric is a piece of shit. I think we can all agree on that.
Everyone knows that Eric is a piece of shit. But instead of blaming himself, Billy blames the penguin.
He does blame the penguin. It was the goddamn penguin.
He blames the penguin for speaking to Brian and convincing him to give the company.
Did the penguin tell you to do this?
Eric. And then Carl is like, "Oh no, don't give the company to Eric. I'll help Billy transition into being the boss that he needs to be, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, we'll help him prove himself.
Yeah. And then Brian's like, "Oh, how do you expect this kid to succeed? He hasn't done anything, basically." And then Billy
Brian tells him that he bribed all his teachers the whole way through school.
Yeah. So
by winning the spelling bee.
Yeah, so Billy originally thinks that Brian only paid his high school teachers to help him pass high school, but it turns out he's been paying teachers since kindergarten all the way through to ensure that Billy got the passing grades that he needed. And then after this, Billy suggests that he goes back to school and completes grades.
All 12 grades
all
in 2 weeks at a time.
2 weeks each, isn't it? Is it 2 weeks' time or is it 2 weeks each?
Yeah, no, sorry, no, 2 weeks at a time.
2 weeks at a time. And then if he passes, then he gets
the company.
He gets the company. And then,
which is, it's a pretty reasonable way of looking yourself into a Fortune 500 company to pass high school.
High school in, what,
in
2 weeks? I did that for billions of dollars. But
fucking oath. Sounds like Paris Hilton.
This is where the main core part of the movie
so
starts.
this is basically the movie.
This is the movie.
From here on out, yeah.
So Billy and Brian, they agree to this, and then Billy is...
I do like that this is like kind of just a riff on just classic piss take wild bets in movies. Like one it reminded me of as well was Trading Places, where they just bet that this random homeless Eddie Murphy can be absolutely incredible on the stock market for the bet of $1 and then just ruin Dan Aykroyd's life.
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to do a movie like this.
No.
The stakes are way too low.
It's ridiculous, yeah. Like, one of the saving graces of this movie is the fact that the pace of it is blistering. Like, there's no lingering scenes or anything like that. It just runs through. Can you hear me? Get it? Oh.
Yeah, it's just... Oh, there we go. We lost connection for a bit.
We're back there. We're back.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, we're recording this over Zoom from across the world.
I am in Bumblefuck, the middle of Australia.
And I'm in Bumblefuck, middle of South Wales. But yeah, this is the main part of the movie, and then Billy gets sent back to school, and his first day, he's waiting for the bus, and he's singing this stupid little song.
with his little lunchbox.
Yeah, back to school to prove to Dad I'm not a fool. And then, oh yeah, I got the whole song here. Back to school to prove to Dad I'm not a fool. I got my lunch packed up, my boots tied tight. I hope I don't get in a fight. And then the school bus just blitzed past him because he's clearly not.
Why would he be getting on that school bus?
He is not supposed to be there at all.
I will pick up this predator on the side of the road, sure.
And then, yeah, the school bus drives past, so Billy's dad decides to drop him off. And then, as soon as he's dropped off, he meets Veronica Vaughn, who's the third grade teacher.
Yeah, the third grade teacher and the love interest in this movie.
Yeah, and
which
Billy...
we'll get to that.
Yeah. Billy,
she obviously hates him.
Yeah.
Thinks he's a fucking idiot, which rightly so.
Yeah, Veronica Vaughn is played by Bridget Wilson Sampras, and when I was a kid, I honestly thought she was the most beautiful person in the world.
Oh, former Miss Teen USA.
Matt.
That's a real thing.
You can't be attracted to Miss Teen USA now.
Well, I mean, she's a good 22 in this movie.
Yeah, she's fine in this movie. But yeah, Billy meets her. He's instantly smitten, and she thinks that he's an idiot and thinks that it's unfair that he can come back to school just because he's rich. And she clearly has a problem with what he's doing and why he's there. And then, yeah, in first grade, he's with this teacher. What's this teacher's name? Miss
Lippy?
Miss Lippy, yeah.
Miss Lippy.
And
she's...
Go on. You go ahead.
Without smoking any weed, she's definitely just this crazy yogi hippie lady.
Yeah.
Who... Classic, like, kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, just airy-fairy, just there for the kids. Just wants them to learn, but probably...
Doesn't really have to do anything as a job.
And probably when you were in school, she'd be your favourite teacher, and you'd love
100%.
But looking back, you can see she's just annoying as fuck.
She's essentially just a babysitter.
Yeah.
To just read stories and make sure you know how to write. Like...
That's not fair. Reception teachers are hard workers, but...
Nah, fuck them. You lazy bastards. You grew up to be glorified baby teachers. Babysitters. I'm not having it.
I did 3 months with reception, and it was hard work. But it was it was a lot of playing around.
You would love that. You would be all over that. That would be your ideal teaching job.
Reading picture books. But yeah, and then
having some nap time. Sign me up.
She's reading the book about this dog who goes missing. And she's reading it to the kids, and it's a picture book, and she's not showing the pictures to the kids.
No.
Which is really, really bugs me.
Triggered.
And then Billy...
Is it worse than the conditioner?
Yeah, a lot worse. And then the message in this story is about, I don't know, what, the kid gives up after an hour and then the dog just comes back?
The kid gives up after an hour and the dog ends up finding its way home from being, I guess, just a good dog.
Yeah.
Billy is not happy with this.
He's not happy at all. But then he uses the message of this story.
And he does drop an F-bomb in kindergarten, you're right, I've got it written down here.
What does he say?
He's get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog.
There we go. I thought you dropped an F-bomb. And then, yeah, he uses the lessons he learned from this story later on.
He does, yes.
The movie.
This somehow makes a reappearance later on in the movie, which inspires an even greater quote later on. Fucking hell.
And then, yeah, after this, Miss Lippy is like, right, kids, it's time for dodgeball.
Unbelievable scene.
Yeah, fantastic scene. So
he gets out straight away.
Yeah. First of all, Billy walks outside, gets hit in the face by one of the O'Doyle kids. And then this is the first introduction to the O'Doyle family and the O'Doyle rules! I'm sorry, I thought this was a bigger part of this movie as well. This whole O'Doyle storyline makes fucking no sense whatsoever. It's the most bullshit thing in this whole movie. It's just so fucking stupid. Like, I get it. It's just an asshole bunch of rednecks that are all different ages. But oh my god, it makes no fucking sense. Nope, not at all. And despite what happens at the end of this film, the O'Doyles pop back up, 25 years later in Who Be Halloween?
Yeah, so how the fuck me.
They must be cousins or something. So yeah, and then Billy goes back into class and Miss Lippy's just dancing to sitar music.
Yeah, something crazy.
And then she's like, "Nah, go outside. This is my time. I need rest. Despite all I've done today is read a book.
Despite being a fucking babysitter."
And then, so Billy goes back outside, then
catches the ball.
Yeah, he catches the ball, and then he just completely annihilates
this
little kid.
Just commits on-screen child abuse.
Oh, it's crazy. Like, I read something, and the way that they had to edit it was they had to do quick cuts because they didn't want to show the kids in pain.
Yeah,
like,
wasn't he like actually nailing these kids with the ball, like
he was
in the
going
filming?
Full pelt. do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that time we were playing Quidditch, and Jared threw that ball at one of the campers, and he just went down like a sack of shit.
I think we're gonna have to edit that out, but.
Nah, it's fine. We didn't name anyone.
Yes, you literally just named.
Oh yeah, but that's fine. Didn't name a camper. Jared could be anyone. But yeah,
Jared could be anyone.
I've never seen a kid hit the ground so fast in my life. But
hey, that could have been, like, if that was a Vine, that would have been fucking incredible. That was outrageous. Almost took his fucking head off.
but yeah, that whole scene is just Adam Sandler nailing kids,
abusing kids.
And then in the next scene, he just passes first grade by drawing a picture of a duck.
Yep, it's a blue duck because he's never seen a blue duck, and he wanted to see a blue duck.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's first grade.
First grade done.
Very quickly on to second grade, which we fly through there. There's only one scene.
I've got, but after first grade, after every grade.
After every single grade, yeah.
Billy's dad throws a party.
Outrageous parties, which just get more and more crazy each time he gets somewhere. Yeah. And in fairness, as a kid, those parties would be fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, I've got it down here. In the pinata, they were putting Rolexes in.
Yeah, the Rolex in the pinata.
Like big circuses going on, races.
There's a clown on stilts.
Yeah, and then so Eric is at the party and he's doing a three-legged race with a kid, and he loses, and he just loses his shit at this kid, this 6-year-old kid. And it's just to show that Eric is a massive arsehole. And then yeah, this clown on stilts. This is another call forward, but he just slips, doesn't he? And then
he just slips, falls, and just eats shit from like 10 feet in the air.
And then he's just on the floor bleeding out. And
everyone's just laughing at him.
Yeah.
Everyone just fucking leaves him there.
And then the camera just lingers on the clown's dead body for just a bit too long.
Just a little bit too long.
Lingering too long on somebody's face is what I like to call the John Burke tactic. Do you remember that Staff Week video?
Jesus Christ. Not to name any names.
Again, could be anyone. Could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
I'm probably going to have to bleep these out now.
Probably.
But yeah, just lingering a bit too long on that clown's face. And then, yeah, second grade, very quick.
Yeah, it's literally just it's the spelling bee.
It's the spelling bee.
For the word couch.
Yeah, and then...
Which is yeah, that's a scene in itself. Just
and
berating a 7-year-old in the spelling bee.
And then he passed the second... Have we been introduced to the janitor yet?
Yeah, Billy takes a piss in this incredibly small urinal, and the janitor just like pops out from one of the cubicles, sees him fall over, and then pops back in. So real creepy like.
Yeah, this janitor's another character, and he's
in it for this one scene, I swear. I don't. You see him for like the milk, and then that's it.
Yeah, he's a spy for Eric though.
So for Eric, yeah.
Eric has paid this janitor to follow Billy around the school to see how he's doing. And then, yeah, he passed the second grade with a... And then, passes second grade for the spelling bee. And then Eric asks Carl what he would feel like working for a punk kid like Billy. And then Carl replies saying it could be worse, implying that he doesn't want to work for
Eric.
For Eric.
Because fuck that guy.
I know it sounds like Eric and Carla in this scene, but it's not. It's just super quick cuts between.
It's
like some.
It's just a scene that lasts for 15 seconds.
Yeah, just to add something to it, I guess.
I guess you need some semblance of a plot in this movie. Because, God, there isn't one.
No, not at all. And then after this, third grade, this is the main class of...
This is like the decent chunk of the school, and obviously with Veronica Vaughn as the teacher, she doesn't fucking want it. He tries to give her some milk.
Yeah, and she's like, that's not our milk.
Fuck you, grow up. Janitor wants a beer.
And then in class, she's like, oh, Billy's going to be an inconvenience for 2 weeks. And then she's like, okay, kids, turn to page 69. And Billy goes, 69. So he makes the class.
The only one laughing.
Yeah, only one laughing.
Unsurprisingly.
Nobody knows.
Everyone else is 8 years old.
Yeah, and then this kid is reading a book, and he's got a bit of a stutter. He's a slow reader.
This, I think, might be the most quotable line in the entire movie. Like, probably the most famous scene in this movie.
What? Today, Junior?
Today, Junior? Fuck, you couldn't get away with that anymore. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, Billy bullies this kid for having a stutter. And then... Does she take him out of... Yeah, she takes him out of class.
Yeah, she...
gives him shit.
Takes him out by the ear, and then he says he can't hear her because she's just assaulted his ear.
And then she leaves, and Billy just goes, so hot, I want to touch the hiney.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. It's just such a strange voice.
And then after he gets the telling off by Veronica Vaughn, it just cuts to Billy being back with Juanita? How did you say her name? I don't know.
Juanita.
Yeah, and then he's just talking about being in love with Veronica Vaughn. And then she's like, if you want me to cheer you up, I can show you my tits or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're sad, I can show you my tits. And he's like, nah. And then that scene's done.
That's it. They're just in the kitchen. There's some breasts on offer. This is it's such a strange flowing movie. There's no flow to it. It's just random bits and bobs of things in between. There's just nothing. There's no substance. It's just random shit.
Yeah, it is just random shit after random shit.
It baffles me.
And then I'm guessing they're back in school after this because she calls him up to practice cursive on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
And then, she gets him to write, dugout and buzz.
Dugout, Buzz, and risotto.
Yeah, and then he can't do his Zs, and she's like, they look like R's or whatever. And
they look like R's to me.
And then, Matt's gone.
No, I'm still here. It's just the video. The video's dropped out on our end.
There we go. And then Billy, Billy freaks out and just
runs out.
Runs out of class. And then
pretends to be sick.
And then what's next?
Is this where he pretends to be sick and doesn't want to go into school, and then Juanita's back saying she's going to do something to him?
And then he's back in school.
He runs straight back to school.
And then we're introduced to the second O'Doyle kid. Who's the second O'Doyle kid?
The second O'Doyle kid.
Oh, he throws a kid in the bin or something, or tips the bin over somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick, and then because later on is where they do the pudding on the head.
Yeah, put on. Yeah, I think he puts somebody in a bin or something.
Yeah.
And then after this, Veronica Vaughn is sick, so we're introduced to Principal Anderson, who's another character of this film. This guy's the social worker in Big Daddy as well.
In Big Daddy, yeah.
And then,
returning character.
Yeah, then he catches kids passing notes in class, and he
gets roasted.
He decides to read it in class, and he's like, "We're so lucky to have Principal Anderson teaching us today. It gives us an excuse to look at that fat lard arse of his, or whatever it says."
Just absolutely fucking rinses it.
And then it's like, we can look at his fat ass, and then he should kill himself or whatever.
It's fucking brutal, I know.
It's an awful thing for kids to say. And then
they're like 10 years old. Jesus Christ.
But this day that Veronica Vaughn's sick is also Valentine's Day as well. So
yeah, and he gets
a bunch of cards, and you just get shots of these 8-year-old girls pining over Adam Sandler.
They're not. It's weird. It's a weird scene, and that's not even the weirdest bit about the scene.
No, and then after the shots of these 8-year-old girls,
those girls, it goes to the principal, who is who was admiring him from afar, and then he gets a bit further down the note.
Yeah.
And he tells him he's really horny, sat in a classroom full of kids.
Really horny. And then after this scene, the kid with glasses, I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name?
Billy?
No, Billy's Adam Sandler's character.
No, yeah. What? Oh, fuck me. He says it because he's the kid that pisses himself, and he.
Yeah.
I can't remember. No, that one's escaped me.
I can't remember the name of him either.
Oh well. Anyway, they're at his house.
Yeah.
On the phone. See, this is what doesn't make sense to me in this movie. Is this teacher fucking hates him.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, they go on a school trip, and even before they're on the school trip, she just likes him out of nowhere. There's no like in between scene or anything. It's just she thinks he's a fucking idiot, and then on the school bus she's like, "Oh, he might be all right."
There was a scene where Billy was drawing dirty pictures of her, and she like winks at him or something, or she smirks.
Was that the turning point of this movie?
I think that's where the turning point was. But yeah, this kid with glasses and Billy, they ring up Miss Vaughn, and to find out if she likes Billy, and then she basically says
she tells him he's more grown up than Billy is.
Yeah, Billy's a massive kid. I need to find this kid's name out. Billy's a massive kid. You're more mature than him. Blah 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 blah. And then the next scene is what? Then they go on the school trip.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh. Yeah, next scene is where they're on the school trip, and we're introduced to Chris Farley's character, the bus driver. Incredible.
Fantastic.
Rest in peace, Chris Farley. Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely hilarious. He's a horrendous character in this movie, but he is hilarious.
He's so funny.
Just this sweaty, angry bus driver, like typical fucking hates everything in himself. Oh God.
So on this bus, somebody dares a kid to throw a sandwich at the back of
Chris Farley's head.
So he does that, and Chris Farley loses his shit. And
I will turn this bus around and arrange a school trip real quick, wouldn't it?
I can't find this kid. Did you know 2 different people played the Penguin, though? Fun fact.
What? Save the fun facts.
I just found out.
Incredible. The essential part of this movie, this fucking penguin.
Ernie. His name's Ernie, I think.
Save. Is it Ernie? Yeah, it must be. Fucking, it's Ernie.
So, yeah, it is now anyway. And then, this kid dares Billy Madison to touch Miss Vaughn's boobs, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
That's assault, brother.
That's assault, brother. And then
which is the most sensible part of this movie.
Oh yeah, in the middle he asks this kid, "Do you double dare me?" And then Billy Madison goes to assault his teacher, and then
and follows through with it.
Yeah, as soon as he grabs her, Miss Vaughn's into it, and then
she tells him to go sit back down, and she double dares him to sit back down.
And then this is the start of the love story, I guess.
Yeah, what is going on in this movie? It just comes out of nowhere. I mean, it doesn't obviously come out of nowhere. This is obviously bound to happen, but the relationship turns out of nowhere.
I've asked you, did the main love story of the movie just start because Billy sexually assaulted his teacher?
It literally does. Like, genuinely not kidding.
And then
this is classic entrapment. He's just
and then we get another shot of another recurring gag of Chris Farley throwing a banana
banana peel
out the window. And then
which
this
comes
is
back later on.
Major consequences down the line.
For no reason as well. This is good lord.
And then they arrive to where they're going on the school,
they're
school
at
trip,
some
what?
Pilgrim place.
Yeah, pilgrim place, and then we just hear this old batty woman going on. And she's like, "Oh, what did she say?" It was like, "Oh yeah," she says, "What is a horseshoe? What does a horseshoe do? Are there any horse socks? Is anybody listening to me?" So yeah, it's just this really old woman trying to engage the kids into learning about pilgrimage and whatever, but nobody seems to give a shit. And then
this field trip swiftly ends.
Yeah.
After all their lunches get stolen by Billy Madison's friends.
Yeah.
And the bus driver.
Where did Billy's mates and the bus driver meet?
How did they come? Where did they come from? How did this happen?
So yeah,
we get there, and then
field trip ends there, and then Ernie's up against the wall crying, and then Billy goes up
because he's
to
pissed
see,
himself.
Yeah, Billy goes to see what's wrong, and then turns out Ernie, this 8-year-old boy, has peed himself. And then Billy goes and splashes water on his crotch. And then a kid goes, "Ernie peed himself." And Bill goes, "I peed myself too." It's what all the cool kids my age do.
Wait, can we talk about the kid that says this?
Yeah.
This little fattest kid with the most horrendous rat tail haircut you've ever seen in your entire life. I don't mean to berate this kid, but he's so fat that his eyes are closed. Like, what is going on there?
Later on in the scene, he's my favourite part of a scene. Like, hands
when he grabs him. We'll get there.
So yeah, this little fat kid goes, "Hey guys, Ernie peed his pants." And then Billy does a big speech about how peeing your pants is
really cool.
really cool.
All the grown-ups pee their
all
pants.
grown-ups doing it. And then Miss Vaughn, Veronica Vaughn, starts to see that Billy is this sensitive little kid. No, little kid, he's 27. Billy is this sensitive guy, and he does care for kids and other people, and he's not as selfish as what she originally thought. And then, as the kids are lining up to... Oh, and then that batty old lady, after Billy does his massive speech, she goes, "If peeing my pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis." And Miles Davis is just... But Miles Davis is just this musician from like the 60s, and
back in the day,
he's just a really, really cool guy. And then, as they're queuing to get back on the bus, all the kids have just pissed themselves.
Yeah, everyone's
like,
just wet themselves.
Yeah, like every single kid.
That bus must fucking stink on the way home. Just be smelling horrendous.
Yeah,
just a big giant can full of piss.
And then, as they get on the bus,
Chris Farley with the just a horrendous. He just stops Billy Madison from going up after Veronica Vaughn, and then just egregiously looks all the way up her skirt and follows it until she can't see her anymore.
That Veronica Vaughn is one fine piece of ace. And then
ace.
Then he's like, I slept with her, and then he's like, no, my friend slept with her, and then like, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
And then,
but you can imagine what it'd be like, though.
Yeah, and then
God,
he gets on the bus and he just yells straight away.
Yeah,
just straight away has a go.
No yelling on the bus.
Apparently that was improvised.
Oh, Chris Farley.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. What a fucking legend.
And then after this, Billy graduates 3rd grade.
There's another huge party.
Eric's getting worried about Billy passing school and tries to find a way to stop him from doing all this.
Yeah. Sabotaging him. Carl hears him. Goes to warn Billy when he's trying to get a...
Yeah. So
get in there with Miss Vaughn. They're in his little private tent.
And his tent's just full of crap.
Lives in a huge mansion, but lives in a tent in the garden.
Even though he's
a giant tent.
Even though he's sleeping in a bedroom earlier on in the movie.
Yeah, he's sleeping in a room.
But yeah, Billy and Miss Vaughn try to get it on, and then Carl
comes in.
Carl comes in and warns Billy about Eric's plan, and then Billy gets Carl to do Eric's laugh.
Which is a really good impression, actually.
Yeah.
Oh god. So following this, there's obviously the classic of every 90s movie.
Yeah.
There's just a montage. We're gonna make a montage. A montage.
Jackson 5 ABC, and we see just Billy passing
flying through grades.
Fourth,
so it's
sixth.
4th, 5th, and 6th.
And then after the montage, we get the Sloppy Joe scene, which is
so strange.
Yeah, but it's a callback
so
to
creepy.
One of Sandler's songs. Have you heard the Sloppy Joe song?
Kerry, you might be the only person in the world that knows these songs.
Oh, so Adam Sandler and Chris Farley did a song together, and it's called Lunch Ladyland. And it's a song about how important the lunch lady is to school life and whatnot. And then Chris Farley's the lunch lady, and then at the end of the song, Chris Farley gets into a fight with all the food, and then they start beating him up, and then the Sloppy Joe comes to save the day, and then the lunch lady and all the food just live happily ever after, basically. But the main chorus is just
brilliant.
Slappy Joe, a Slappy Joe, yeah. Slappy Joe, a Slappy Joe, yeah.
Is this like... So this is the original Lonely Island, then? This is just...
Yeah. Like... People
sake.
think of Sandler as this comedian. He's a fantastic musician. He's honest, and it shows in this movie as well. Adam Sandler's, but yeah, this whole Sloppy Joe scene is
There is a scene later on in this movie that proves he's definitely not a fantastic musician.
You're joking. It's incredible. We'll get to it later on. But
the academic decathlon. Fucking. Just as an FYI, my laptop has definitely got about 40 minutes life left.
Yeah,
and we've been recording for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, 1 hour 18. Don't worry about it. And then yeah,
I've got 40 minutes. And we're like a third way through.
Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, another party.
No, we're right. No need to rush.
Yeah, so the lunch lady, and then Billy passes 6th grade, and then there's another party, and at this party, Eric confronts Principal Anderson with this magazine, and the magazine is a wrestling magazine from back in the day, and in it says about how this wrestler called the Revolting Blob sat on somebody's head and killed him.
Which is... And then fled, and then just ran away.
Then fled and got his teaching degree and somehow became a principal. If people haven't put it together, the Revolting Blob and Principal Anderson are the same person.
One and the same.
And then after this, Billy goes to high school. He shows up in his car. He's got his denim jacket on.
He shows up in the fucking Pontiac T-Bird.
Yeah.
Straight out of Smokey and the Bandit with his, his denim jacket. Thinking he's the hottest shit that's ever walked, and then obviously all these early 90s kids that are now moved on to grunge think he's an absolute cunt.
Yep, pretty much. And then he's in class and he starts bullying this teacher for talking about chlorophyll, and he says, chlorophyll, more like borophyll. And then he accuses his...
And then he's asking...
he accuses his 16-year-old for wanting to make up.
I don't think she's 16. How old are you when you start high school in the States?
Oh.
You're like, it's like year 9. I think she's like 14.
Yeah.
Fucking, what were the 90s?
So yeah, another underage girl just randomly attracted to Adam Sandler, not like the kids earlier on. And then we're introduced to the third O'Dial, which is the pudding cup.
It comes over and pours a pudding cup all over him.
Yeah, so they're at the lunch table and Billy's just sat with these two people, and then
I have a
his new
good
mates,
quote here.
Yeah, and then they talk about loser denial, and they're saying that Billy's a loser now, even though he was cool back in the day. And then if you want to
now
give the quote,
he's a loser. This kid says, I had a real bad case of loser denial until the lacrosse team stuck a parking code at my ass.
Yeah. So...
For fuck's sake.
And then Billy becomes...
Sounds like a good old rugby initiation right there.
And then Billy becomes mates with with these kids.
Yeah.
And because Billy's getting bullied, he decides to go back to the 3rd grade class because there he's cool. And everybody loves him. And then he goes outside and has a chat with Miss Vaughn, Veronica Vaughn. And she's like...
maybe you were a bully back in the day as well. Maybe you were a piece of shit.
Maybe people are treating you like you used to treat people, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to be nice. So...
Which causes him to make some amends.
Yeah.
Makes a phone call to... good old Steve Buscemi in this movie.
Yeah, his name's Danny McGrath. So he rings up and he apologizes, and then Buscemi's like, he's like, yeah,
thank you,
cool. And then it just pans over to a to kill list, and this Danny McGrath character just crosses Billy Madison's name off a list of people he was gonna kill.
Off a list of about 10 people.
Yeah. And then
puts on some lipstick, Buffalo Bill style, and just has a little relax.
Yeah. And then that scene's done. And then after this, Billy is bonding with his new friends in his house and his dad. And a breaking news segment comes on.
Breaking news.
Yeah. Breaking news.
How?
Just, I don't understand why. It's not.
It's in the middle of a TV show. Breaking news that Billy Madison has bribed his principal.
Yeah. So Principal Anderson's on TV and he says, Billy Madison paid me to ensure that he passed the grades. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry, Billy. And then Billy's dad kicks off because he thinks that Billy has paid the teachers again to help him pass elementary school, and
no one believes him that he doesn't do this.
No one believes him. And
when in reality, it's Eric being a prick. He's back.
Yeah, Eric blackmailed the principal, but then Billy's dad like, no, get fucked. I'm gonna give the company to Eric.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eric gets the company, and then Billy goes on a bit of a spiral. He starts drinking again, and
he starts drinking again, and then we get the return of the penguin.
Yeah.
For I think maybe the second and possibly last time in this movie.
No, the penguin.
There's one more. There's one more penguin.
Two more.
Oh, there's two more penguins. Yeah. Okay.
And then Billy and his
mates... sorry, no, there is two more penguins.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Billy and his mates get drunk over the next couple of days, and then they go to Veronica Vaughn's house to invite her out to light dog shit on people's doorsteps. And then she's like...
Does not go well.
No. And then she's like, oh, come into my living room and light dog shit here. So Billy goes into the house, and then he sees the penguin again.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And then he just assumes that Miss Vaughn and the penguin are having an affair, and he leaves. He leaves all sad,
and refuses to go back to school, and doesn't carry on with his high school. He's having a shit old time, and then I can't remember what happens next. So they end up
So after he leaves Veronica Vaughn's house, I'm assuming he goes back to his house because the next day Billy and his friends, they're passed out in the pool and around the pool, and then Veronica Vaughn.
She comes and
she shows
beats
up,
the shit out of him.
She beats the shit out of Billy Madison and gives him this.
She throws him in the pool, tries to drown him.
Sober him up a bit, and then she gives this big speech about how she believes Billy and how she knows that he's going to do the right thing and how he needs to go back to school. And then we have a musical number.
Yeah.
And this is the scene I was talking about. It's fantastic. I used to have this song on my iPod.
Oh, okay. This is the scene you meant.
It's such a good song. It's fantastic.
Are you going to give us a rendition?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will go back to school and achieve victory. No man would take what my father has built unless that man is me. That's it. But yeah, this song is absolutely fantastic. It's funny, it's beautifully written, it's beautifully sung. And just the stuff that we learn throughout this song. The clown's alive.
The clown is alive. We get a revisit of the clown who's just back.
The clown has been on the floor,
passed out on that floor for weeks
upon weeks. I've actually noted here that this is the best new musical number in film history, which I don't think is true.
I wasn't going to argue with you.
But yeah, I used to love this song when I was a kid. I used to listen to it on repeat, and then as the kids are singing, that rat tail kid at the end, he's at the very end of the queue, and everybody's doing this dance moves, and he's just there, and he's bobbing up and down like a little fat kid, and
he's just doing the truffle shuffle just at the back of this crowd.
Oh, it's honestly so funny. And then, so yeah, I'm guessing this song inspires Billy to go back to school, because after this, the third graders go to Mr. Anderson's house, and he's dressed up as the revolting blob.
And there's just 30 of them on his front lawn giving him some very, very menacing looks.
Yeah.
Telling him that he's fucking wrong and tell him the truth, basically.
Yeah, and then he holds another press conference, which again is breaking news. And he said that he was paid off and that Eric, he lied.
He was paid off to lie.
And then Eric gets super angry and he throws something at his secretary. And then Billy's dad mentions later on that Eric's secretary is in a coma.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So.
Oh, go on.
No, he means to throw something and he means to throw it at the TV and just completely throws it in just the wrong direction. She just gets hit off screen and you just see her drop like a sack of shit.
Yeah. And then after this, let's just blast through this bit now. Billy's dad and Eric have a meeting about what's just happened, and Eric says he believes Billy the whole time. Billy's dad suggests that they have a second chance at school because of the circumstances. Eric gets pissed and say the contract has been signed and the company is his. Billy dad says get
fuck
fucked,
it, I don't care.
Eric threatens to take him to court. Adam
Sandler and his academic decathlon idea.
Yeah, so this leads Billy to saying, let's do an academic decathlon, 10 events one day, and Eric accepts this. Then we get the fourth O'Doyle when Billy goes to open his locker and is full of horse shit. And then
classic.
Yeah.
Classic prank. Good old Back to the Future reference.
Yeah. And then
kind of.
And then we got the scene of Miss Vaughn helping Billy study. And in his tent.
It is there. I mean, yeah.
When
12-year-old me wished that scene went on a little bit longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a kid, I remember this being a lot sexier than what it ended up being.
Just taking some suspenders off.
Yeah, so yeah, she's stripping down for every right answer Billy gets, and then the decathlon after this. And then there's a study montage of Billy learning languages and sewing and doing other shit, and then it ends with the exactly same scene from Veronica Vaughn stripping down, but this time it's Chris Farley.
It's Chris Farley's bus driver character.
Yeah, and this time we get to see some nip.
We do get to see some big old titties.
And then after this, the decathlon starts, and the high school principal. He's talking about people cheating at the decathlon, just like his wife, the dirty tramp.
I'm used to people cheating, especially with my wife, who is a dirty tramp, in the most deadpan delivery. It's fucking incredible.
And then as the decathlon starts, and we get third montage of the movie.
Third montage of the movie.
So yeah. We show
they're just going through random science, athletics, math, music,
cooking. Eric sets himself on fire and Billy's pissing himself laughing. There's a race.
Great part of this movie.
Yeah.
After the race, he pushes him backwards over the bench. These two kids are just looking over. You see that guy? Yeah, some gross looking balls.
And then
what the fuck?
And then more scenes of like a science class, and Billy pulls his boot out of
a Timberland boot out of absolutely nowhere.
And then music. This is where I'm guessing Sandler's not a fantastic musician because he sucks at playing the clarinet or whatever. And then we end with a drama one, and Billy dresses up as Macbeth. And then at the end they're tied.
No, Billy's ahead by 1 point.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When they start this...
the final event.
This last one.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, Billy's ahead by 1 point, but before they start the final event, we quick cut to a family in the car, and they're all like, O'Doyle rules! O'Doyle rules! And then the car hits the banana peel from earlier on in the movie.
Some good old foreshadowing.
And then the car swerves off a cliff, and presumably they all die in a fiery wreck.
Which is just absolute par for the course of this movie. Just absolute random bullshit that doesn't make any sense happening all the time.
And then the final event of the decathlon, everybody shows up. To watch, and Billy's currently ahead by 1 point. In the final challenge, Billy and Eric have to decide a topic for others to talk about. Eric has the option to choose from burning dog poo and the human response, and My Wife the Tramp, amongst others, for Billy to talk about. He eventually chooses reflections of society and literature. So this is obviously the hardest one for Billy to do. So he goes on a massive.
We get a great callback to the picture book from grade 1 of how the Industrial Revolution is involved with finding a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Inspiring what might be the greatest quote in this movie.
Do you want to say it? I think I've got it here.
No, you've got. I think you've got the whole quote. I've only got some of it.
And then so after Billy goes on and on about the puppy who lost his way, the principal says, "What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point is your rambling incoherent response were you ever close to anything that could be considered rational thought. Even in this room is dumber for having. Everyone in this room is dumber for having listened to it." I fucked up that quote big time. Is that the one you were thinking about?
That is the exact quote I was thinking of, yes.
It's
incredible.
I messed that up. But yeah, the principal basically says that was completely wrong. You've made everybody dumber for doing this.
For having to listen, yeah.
And then after this, Billy chooses...
So obviously gets 0 points for this.
Yeah.
But he's still ahead by 1 point, so we're all right.
Billy chooses a topic for Eric, and he chooses business ethics. Eric can't answer
because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and he has no ethics, so he pulls a gun on the principal.
I think this might be the most accurate thing that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Is the fact that we're in an American school and there's a shooting.
Yeah. So he brings a gun on pulls a gun on Billy, and then Principal Anderson shows up in full costume and attacks Eric.
He manages to get out of it, points the gun back at Billy, and as an ex-machina of this movie, we get Steve Buscemi shooting Eric right in the arse with a high-powered rifle on the stage.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what the fuck?
So the end of this whole event is
a school shooting.
Yeah. And then,
brilliant.
And then so because Billy's ahead by 1 point, he wins, and
Eric forfeits.
And then
I guess because of the gun.
And then the very end of the movie, they've got a big ceremony, graduation ceremony, and Billy's dad's like, I'm giving the business to Billy, and then Billy's like, no, I'm gonna give it a call, and
the savior of this whole movie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
He's the Samwise Gamgee of this movie.
100%. And then Billy's like, I'm gonna go back to college and become a teacher, and then everybody's happily ever after. Billy and Veronica Vaughn kiss.
Everybody starts making out.
Yeah, I got it here.
It's the tamest sausage party ending you've ever seen.
Billy's mate and the lunch lady kiss. The clown and the first grade teacher kiss. The 2 high school kids kiss. The bugger lady from earlier on. Oh, yeah. There was a woman earlier on who wiped her kid's snot and then wiped her tits.
It's gross.
And then the bugger lady... 2 kids from high school and the bugger lady kiss. And then his other mate, the ginger one, goes to kiss a girl from science class. And then I've put in quotation
goes to kiss a 14-year-old.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I've asked myself, is this man a paedophile? She pushes him away, and then Steve Buscemi and Juanita make out, and then the penguin jacks off the bus driver.
Yes.
The end. And that's the end of the entire movie.
And if none of that made sense to anybody, don't worry, it didn't make sense to any of us either. They're just fucking bizarre, this movie.
Yeah, it's awful.
Talking about it makes it sound so much worse as well. Like, it just... It's just fucking craziness.
We have spoken for an hour and a half on this movie. That's an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to go a lot...
maybe a lot quicker.
40 minutes. But, yeah. What are your final thoughts on the movie? I've got an Excel thing here, so we'll rate the movie as well.
So do we want to introduce the audience to our rating scale?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah, it's your rating scale. You tell what it is. I've not got it in front of me.
Okay, so the idea that I had was we'd rate this movie on how many sandbags out of 10 that this movie is, and then we'd say what sort of flood those sandbags could stop. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
It kind of does. It kind of does. You know what? I can't argue with it. So, I'm gonna go with
Matt,
3.5 sandbags out of 10.
3.5 sandbags out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit low.
Fuck him. You know what? After going through this movie segment by segment, it's just pissed me off.
And what kind of flood could this movie stop?
It could probably stop the flood of margaritas that they're all drinking at the start of the movie.
Okay.
That's about it.
Fair enough. I am going to give this a 4.3 out of 10. And 4.3 sandbags.
And could this stop?
The 4.3 sandbags could stop the flood that the jet skis were causing in the
very, very small pool
in the fountain
the garden.
Yeah, as they were going around Principal
in one of the party scenes.
Anderson. Yeah, I thought the movie was okay, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Honestly, after the more times I watch it, the worse it genuinely gets, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit problematic.
I don't know. It just makes no sense. I can't keep just saying this, I know, but there's nothing about this movie that makes sense. It's just baffling. It just is a load of bullshit, just kind of mixed together, and it barely makes a movie that works.
Maybe I've given 4.7 for nostalgia, because it is just classic Sandler, even though it is problematic. We got rape, we got underage girls.
There's so many things wrong in this movie.
We've got a kid saying the hard R word. So, yeah. Oh, well. 4.7 out of 10. I'm happy with that.
4.7. I'm sticking with 3.5. It's just terrible. I mean, it's not. There's definitely worse movies, but fuck me. It doesn't get better more times you watch it. Considering the cast as well.
Yeah.
Like, it genuinely... there's a genuinely good cast in this movie.
Yeah.
Of people.
We got award winners. We got... Who would have thought that Adam Sandler would go from this to Uncut Gems 25 years later?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Right. Anyway, just before ending, should we just run through some trivia and some goofs of this movie, and then we'll sign off?
Yeah, so I've got a bit of trivia that I had no idea this was a thing.
Yeah.
But, so the high school... You might have the same one as me here, but the high school principal... I didn't realise he was one of the writers for Saturday Night Live and is the longest official Saturday Night Live writer for like over 30 years. Oh. And he's also Robert Downey Jr.'s uncle.
Oh, I had no idea what
How crazy is that? So he's the uncle of fucking Robert Downey Jr. and he's like the longest associated writer of Saturday Night Live.
I guess that explains how Robert Downey Jr. got into Saturday Night Live.
That definitely explains that.
Do you have any more trivia?
No, that was as far as I got. Other than the Miss Teen USA for Bridget Wilson Sampras there, that was about it. Also, Bradley Whitford, Eric Gordon's character, was married to Lois out of Malcolm in the Middle for a few years there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've got...
Oh, actually, one more thing. Sorry, is somehow Adam Sandler was actually nominated for an award for this movie.
Oh, the MTV.
MTV's like Teen's Choice like Comedian of the Year.
Yeah.
Was up against Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, Tim Allen in The Santa Claus, Tom Arnold in True Lies, Jim Carrey in The Mask. Safe to say he didn't win that award.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 definitely better movies on that list. Which who do you think won that award for what movie?
The Mask, surely.
No, but it was Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I can't argue with that.
I've just got some stuff that we spoke about earlier on, like in the dodgeball scene where Adam Sandler was going full pelt. The other people on the list of Danny McGrath, the other people on the kill list for Danny McGrath is just crew members and...
I was going to say, is there anyone on that list that's like, it's just a good little cameo or something?
They're just
little Easter egg.
Crew members and producers and stuff like that. The Madison mansion is the same school, is the same building as what Professor X's school in the X-Men is.
I was going to say, they filmed this in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Like, that place.
So it's the same film from 2000's X-Men, and earlier on I spoke about this being an acclaimed actor's favourite movie. Do you want to take a guess?
An acclaimed actor's favourite movie? Jesus Christ. You're putting me on the spot here. I have absolutely no idea.
This movie is Robert De Niro's favourite film.
Fuck off.
I swear to God. This is Robert De Niro's favourite movie.
Oh, my... Okay. You know what? Fair play, Robert De Niro knows better movies than me, so fuck it. Who am I to argue with Robert De Niro?
And then...
I don't believe...
And then moving on to some goose from IMDb. At the start, when the bus drives past Billy, you can hear kids on the bus, but the bus is empty. And then when Billy goes to see Veronica Vaughn, when he is drunk, she is wearing a wedding ring throughout the entire scene.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good little spot. What the fuck?
So I don't know if she is actually married and having an affair, and the penguin is her
penguin
actual
might
husband,
have actually been there.
or if it's
or
if it
cracked
is
the
just
case
a goof.
wide open, the penguin was real.
Yeah, penguin was real.
And is married to the teacher. And Adam Sandler's the real shit guy in this movie.
Yep.
Trying to have an affair with a married woman.
There we go. The
Billy
movie
Madison, you arsehole.
done. But yeah, I think it's time to wrap up.
I think that was...
Do you want to let people...
That movie honestly took some fucking years off me. Jesus Christ.
I've watched it 3 times. Just wait until the next couple. Do you want to...
So yeah.
Do you want to let people know what's coming up next?
Yeah, so next week we're going to be carrying on with this. Now we're going to be going actually back to doing this in order. So we're going to be doing Going Overboard next week, which is a movie one of us has watched and did not have a good time with, did we?
No.
So I am less than looking forward to watching this, but I think...
If you think this is just a bunch of scenes thrown together with no story, wait until you get to...
I won't lie, I read the synopsis for that, and it kind of sounded like the movie stopped. It kind of sounded like it just stopped halfway in the movie.
God, it's awful. It's dreadful. It's the worst film I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to have to watch it again because I can't remember it.
Oh, God. Right, I need to watch this. I need to watch Going Overboard. If anyone else wants to watch it in the meantime, just to see what's going on, feel free. But yeah.
So yeah.
That was Billy Madison.
Our first episode done. I think it probably went on a bit long, so congratulations for reaching the end.
We definitely filled through there. If you've listened all this way through, fucking why?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But thank you.
Yeah, thanks for reaching the end. If you want to follow us on all social medias, we got Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Hopefully we'll start using some of that soon, and they're all at Sandlerous Pod. If you want to send us an email, please email sandlerouspod@gmail.com. But for now, I guess all we can say is see you next week and goodbye.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week.